Hey, it's Matt with MSN.ca. We got Tom from Keane here. How's it going?
Really well, thanks. Yeah.
Nice. Every interview I'm watching, getting prepared for this, everyone's talking about your hometown. Is this like your Penny Lane record? Is that what's going on?
It's an interesting way of framing it. I hadn't really thought about it in that way. There probably is a sense of kind of looking back to where we all started out, where we began. And I think our music is kind of entrenched in, you know, life growing up in a small town and those kind of dreams and ambitions that you have when you're in that kind of place. And then certainly the album sort of continues from that context into trying to kind of talk about the journey that you then make through life and how those dreams often become very complicated and confused, and you end up somewhere but it's not quite where you expected.
Is it where you expected though? I mean, you want to be in a band all your life, I would think.
Yeah, but it's, I mean, you know, I suppose the ideal of what a band is, you know, when you're sort of 12 years old and watching videos of U2, is that it's all just, you know, it's all just the performance and the glamour and, you know, and like there's no kind of real life going on underneath it all. But of course there is, you know. I suppose that's the bit that's kind of weird. It's sort of, well, and the bit that's much richer in terms of inspiration for us. You know, the actual real life. You know, that's what people, I think, respond to in our music. It's nothing to do with us being, you know, in a sort of successful band. It's much more to do with us being real people.
How does the collaboration work between you and Tim for writing a song?
Well, basically Tim will lock himself away for as long as it takes to come up with, you know, a great idea for a song. Normally a whole
lyrics
song.
Included, everything.
Yeah,
oh,
absolutely.
Wow.
Yeah, and then he'll send it around to the rest of us. You know, we sort of expect an email, you know, and then we kind of send our feedback or not, as the case may be. But this album, he wrote like 80 songs or something, so there was a lot to choose from.
Wow.
And so yeah, we were able to kind of make our minds up with a fair amount of freedom to say that one's shit and that one's great, you know. He wasn't too offended.
How does your vocal melodies change from what he gives to you as to what we hear in the final product?
Not a huge amount. There were certain songs that had a lot of kind of structural changes. One of the things we wanted with this album was with the last record, with Perfect Symmetry, there were a lot of very long, sprawling songs, and we felt maybe it suffered from not being quite concise enough. And all of us felt like we wanted to get back to that ethos of like, if you can't say it in 3.5 minutes, you can't say it at all. Do you know what I mean? If the song doesn't say it all in that amount of time, then it's probably not worth pursuing, unless it's Bohemian Rhapsody. You know what I mean?
So how do you make a set list? How do you choose what songs go in? Does it change up every night?
We try and change it as much as we can. I'm the one who sort of has now taken the responsibility of trying to arrange the set list, and it is quite a complicated affair because, you know, there are as you say, a lot of songs to choose from, and it's a delicate balancing act, and it can also be difficult to kind of judge what the mood of the gig is going to be like. So you kind of have to think your way around all that and then work it out. But what I've resorted to doing now is just printing out a list of all of the songs and then just cutting them out and sort of sitting there trying to rearrange them in some kind of reasonably coherent order. But I mean, I did it. We really dramatically changed the set for Montreal last night, and as soon as we got out on stage, I realised it was a much more kind of, they were a much more sort of party crowd than I think we were expecting. We were expecting a little bit more of a reflective type of a crowd. So we started into Atlantic, which is quite a slow song, and I think it kind of killed the mood straight away. But thankfully the set kind of grew and built, so we won them over in the end.
5 quick questions, one word answers. Road or studio?
Road.
Lennon or McCartney?
McCartney.
Oh, you knew that one off the bat. That's nice. Most people think, like, oh my God. When you hear a song, what usually hits you first? Lyrics, melody, or rhythm?
Lyrics.
Song you've written you're most proud of?
I wrote a song last year for a friend of mine who passed away. It's called Starlight, which I'm very proud of. Yet to see the light of day. Maybe one day.
Cool. And in one word, Keane.
Idiots.
Thank you very much, man.
Thank you.